2024. It's currently 8:47 a.m. and I want to show you what is the light source that is nowhere near my leasing office or the laundry room of Alvarado Gardens. 9 BIR 482 is engaging in what is a demonic pattern of conduct, and so is the California Department of Motor Vehicles. This is all demonic pacing. They're all monitoring. They're all crossing path. This is an ongoing system. It's like a centipede of demons repeatedly crossing path over and over and over again under what is the spectacular demonstration of the scientifically impossible environment. Readily identifying criminal conduct by the state. CGU 3347, engaging in state surveillance. That's a Washington plate. 5EAW 763. That's a Caucasian female group stalking with this demon that's walking on the sidewalk. Communication device. They're all engaged in federal stalking. The traffic is systematic maintenance of presence. This is group stalking that's underway by an entire public entity, doing it in concert with the people of the state. That's the significance of remaining under the malicious guise of the natural environment. The P.O.C. is showing you that there is nothing natural about it, and also that there's nothing natural about the behavior either when you're looking at the greater context. And you've also seen this same entity, because it's not individualized with what is Susie versus Joanna in San Bernardino County. They're the same entity, and those two demons have already shown you their demon possession when you've seen engineered light moving across buildings, okay? It's the same entity, and that's also speaking to what is not natural conduct. DMV is a state facilitating venue. I want to be clear with regard to legislation. Everybody monitoring with the state goes to federal prison, just as a matter of policy. I documented engineered light inside sunlight. First of all, it's not going to be the product of what's the light source. You've seen the independence of the engineered light versus the light source. You're looking at what is evidence of group stalking by a state facilitated venue, and then you're also logically breaking down the crime scene, because the sun is not going to be present over the DMV at 133 West GLENOAKS Boulevard in Glendale, California, while it is remaining at the same time. Let's look at where it's at the same time while these demons are group stalking in Glendale today. Just want to remind you about what has already been captured. The entity maintaining a light source. This is the ongoing hovering stalking conduct by a state so obsessed, okay, engaging in such highly malicious and delusional determination that they are engaging in what is the provision of evidence against itself and an entire government.
When you're in the laundry room,
I want you to remember what I documented on March 19th, same time of year, daylight savings time, which, by the way, is not even legally relevant because nothing about the environment is natural. The sun's not going to remain over the DMV for the duration of the day, which is what the entity is doing at Alvarado Gardens. And to have it over me at this DMV in the same way that it's over Alvarado Gardens is equally impossible. The sun is not remaining over everyone, all of us at the same time, all day long, let alone in the manners in which that I've shown it. That's called the stalking with an environment. Stalking with the environment is demonic. Who's stalking in that unnatural environment? Everybody around you. It's called group stalking. You don't have to know their names. You have to know the environment that you're in, and you have to know the significance of what they're doing. And it's very easy. When you are aware of what you're doing, they're following what you're doing. Those are demons that do that. It's demonic activity, and it's underway at a state facilitating venue. I just want to be clear, as a matter of policy, everybody in this building is subject to federal prison. Just stating. Group stalking with the state, the DMV is the state. Just want to point that out. It's the same thing with the police, the sheriff's departments. They want to group stalk with, for example, technically speaking, LADWP. That's a state government agency, by the way. And just letting you know, with regard to what is the technicalities when you're criminalizing the government's criminal system. When you're criminalizing the government's demonic activity, you can slice it down, and that's what I've done. When you want to act with the state, you can't just go into any government building and group stalk. If you do, that fool's going to federal prison, period. And there'll be plenty of fools that they're so far gone in Satan, they will do that, but many will be deterred, okay? It's not worth it going to DMV and then ending up in federal prison. It's just not worth it. At this point, though, I want to remind you about what is 8:47 in the morning, which was when I started this video. Let's remember what I was doing at 8:47. Remember, I've been staying at Alvarado Gardens from morning until night, and this is where the entity has been rising and setting the sun, okay? That is on its face the unnatural environment. Never are you ever supporting that or claiming that that's it, and that's on its face. And let me be clear, the defeated entity, and the defeated entity is Satan, which is a spirit operating over a whole defeated population. Everybody serving Satan is defeated, in other words. Group stalking is demonic activity. All of the population of demons are hereby defeated, not just on this day, because this point has already been established by the P.O.C. All I did was come to Los Angeles, and they are literally underscoring what has already been a prosecution of the government of the state of California, highlighting and underscoring all the ways in which the P.O.C. is concrete evidence against the state. The sun is never rising and setting at one address. The entity is maintaining this light source at 8:47 in the morning, and I started this video at 8:47, so I want you to look at this. This is the P.O.C. And this is understanding malice. The population that is demon possessed, that is targeting you, group stalking you, doing so under the influence of a demonic spirit, and outwardly conducting themselves as though they're doing something else, they're consumed with something else. It coexists. The elements of monitoring are coexisting with that environment, which they are all aware of. They act and engage in activity. They arrive in your presence. They create light activity or audible activity with simultaneity to what you're doing. That's a monitoring spirit that's crossing path. Doesn't matter what their races, their ages, their economic status, even their job. Everybody working at this DMV, that's grounds of federal prison. This is the light source that's over me. This is not the sun that will be over, remember, the hillside. It's rising in alignment to me. 7DJT328 is group stalking in the path with light. The light source is literally over my head at the GLENOAKS, Glendale DMV, which is not over and visible through the window of the laundry room. And it's over me at the DMV. That's how you know what that is. That's group stalking, and that's a demon. Focused on me, by the way. Excuse me. Hi. Is everything okay? Was that you in the laundry room? Okay, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Stop hitting the walls and slamming the machines. Be quiet when you're in the laundry room. You're really loud.
I don't do that.
I need you to be quiet when you're in the laundry room. You're slamming the machines. Don't slam the machines. And please don't beat on the wall. Is everything okay? Oh, okay. That's fine. Thank you. Have a good day. You're fine. Bye. Go ahead. Oh, you want me to show you? Yeah, sure. Let's go. This is P.O.C. All right, this is 1810 North Alvarado Street. We're going to remember what was happening yesterday when the day before yesterday when Heather Till was on the phone calling me at 3:24 in the afternoon. That light source was over this same exact location and I'm talking about this location at the top, which is the Alvarado Gardens Apartments. It still was there at 3:24. That's why Heather Till's going to federal prison. The malice with which she made every comment, which was audible activity, in concert with that entity that flew over my office and continuously flies over my head every day, okay? Evidence against Heather Till before she called and made that foolish presentation, providing evidence against herself, and what is BJKLO27, okay? Crossing path, demonic. Okay, they're all crossing paths one after another. This is demonic activity, massive terrorism. 9EUL549. All right, this is not traffic. You're recognizing the context under which you're surrounded and what they're engaging in. And there's no shared environment, nor is there ever any provision for the sun to be here. Why? Because the entity keeps the light source over me at this same location where I'm at 8:47, the same time where I'm here, till after 3:24, where Heather Till of the Human Research third-party group stalker speaker companies, a third-party company, asking me questions that they know the answer to. I'm going to prosecute them with all of that psychotic audible activity. All right, revealing their mental illness, by the way, the people of the state that are group stalking you. This is the light source that's at the same address. There's nothing even that's going to be a natural explanation for why you would be beating on the wall. And then they walk out normal. Oh, hi. Oh, how's it go? I mean, he doesn't speak English. I want you to see what is, again. Well, excuse me. Because I don't know who's watching this, like normal people. That's engineered light. Same language, but engineered light that's appearing inside of the laundry room here at the top of the wall. Engineered light is appearing inside of the door of the DMV, flat on the ground. The shape of the door and the window, it's appearing flat on the ground. That's exactly what I took a picture of, so let's revisit that. This is the pattern of stalking with engineered light for the convenience of the demons that are group stalking you in relevant position, which are all of these. Turning their back, looking to the left and right, that's engineered light, not sunlight, because this isn't even the sun, it's a light source. And you've also seen how this engineered light is present even outside of the physical presence of the so-called sun. That's not the sun. That's going to be over me and visible through the window of this laundry room. It supersedes that. It's not limited. It's not based on whatever language you speak. So I just want to make sure. That's engineered light right there. Everything okay? You just want to cross path again? Huh? Okay. All right. This is P.O.C. I want you to see the light source. All right, that's the light source that's over the hillside. And what you're looking at right here on the bottom is the evidence that's serving for the prosecution, the disbanding, the removal from position of Dominic Choi of the Los Angeles Police Department, the prosecution of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, these corrupt law enforcement agencies, facilitating state surveillance, state terrorism with the people of the state. That environment follows you by virtue of engaging in that, stalking with an environment, which these demons are stalking you in that unnatural environment. They're all demons, group stalking you together. And it is done in concert and on behalf of who is stalking on an ongoing basis, the state itself, which is the significance of having 20 to 30 ongoing documented occurrences of sounding helicopter activity or visibly seeing them while they're flying over my head, flying over my office, flying over my apartment, flying around the community where the sun is remaining there all day long. There's no provision for the sun to ever be over anywhere near some DMV when it's remaining over this same property. This is 1810. Remember, this is through the window of the laundry room. This is very exclusive sky space. That is not this on the bottom where I'm at right now. That's how you know what's going on. 9BIR 482 is a demon. In addition to that, showing you the state's criminal system, which is why it followed me to Los Angeles County. Okay, the entity is maintaining a light source, as I documented, same time of year analysis. Well, actually, before I go to that, I want you to see with your eyes what the entity was doing with this light source that remains in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, because Heather Till's going to federal prison. I'm going to punctuate that point because everything that she made, she's going to eat those words, and the whole state is going to be prosecuted because she is illustrating, representing the malice of the entity that is terrorizing you, and doing so with real-time knowledge of the fact that there are group stalking. So let's just get yesterday. Yesterday, June 4th at 2:59, I'm standing at the same location where you just saw the light source at 8:47 in the morning. This is the same location. A group stalker crossing path. 9JZE623 is not an exception to that. The entity is living at a crime scene and systematically maintaining the elements of monitoring. And that's the light source that's over me at 2. Hold on, 9JZ. So you can see it. This is the light source that's over me at 2:59 in the afternoon. And I'm nowhere near Alvarado Gardens, and the light source is over me as I leave the property. So what is it, the malice that I've told you? The entity acts with impunity. There is no form, there's no acting, there's no smile on your face, there's no business that you're engaging in that is any sort of exception with regard to what is showing outright 100% demonic, which is relevant for what is terrorism that's going on in California, which is in the United States, in violation of your constitutional and human rights. Now, upon exposure of the system that's operated by the government in concert with the people who have no mask to hide under, while they continue group stalking you, they're going to be prosecuted for terrorism, and I mean the whole population. It's an act of terrorism while they cross paths, while they drive by you. This isn't traffic. This is maintenance of presence on behalf of the state. And you know that because of the unnatural environment, where there's never going to be a sun anywhere over Glendale, over the DMV, where it's remaining over one property, one address all day long, which I've already established. And the more you document, the more the demons act out. Engineer Light moving across Shell Auto. Okay, you've already known that 9LFJF322, that's federal prison. That's impunity, that's why, and also terrorism via directed light, and they know exactly what's being documented, so they just landed themselves in federal prison. Engineer Light moving across that building, doing so under what is the light source, having nothing to do with sunlight. And what am I referencing with regard to what is Engineer Light, what you've seen universal waste engage in, an impossible occurrence, all right, where the entity is maintaining a light source all day long, where they want to act with such lawlessness, thinking you could terrorize somebody. You're not getting away with anything. Heather Till's going to be prosecuted by that. That's the ongoing demonic activity at the property, and they're also doing so while they're listening to you document it. Okay, that's why they're going to federal prison. The entity is maintaining this light source, and I want to remind you about what the entity is maintaining while I am in an entirely different region. So on June 5th, 2022, I did not start documentation until after, it looks like 10 something in the morning. The entity was engaging in the same malice, covering up the light source as I heavily documented and show very, very salient points revealing the state's criminal system. At any point in the day, the entity engages in the same thing. And so when I'm at a Walmart in Upland, California, where there's never going to be a sun arriving anywhere in LA, because the entity did that, and I captured that as an entity on video, which is why you document public corruption. The entity is maintaining a light source as I go to the nearby your neighborhood Walmart who's monitoring you. All right, engaging in what is surveillance. And this is the light source over me in Upland, California, right over my head, outside of what is Walmart. Walmart's a group stalker, in case you did not know. Walmart is a terrorist, actually, flying over in circles above me at Walmart in Ontario off of Mountain and 5th Street, which is also documentation that remains on the record. And again, I remained at Walmart from morning until evening. And you know where that light source stayed? It was nowhere near the DMV in Glendale, I'll tell you that. It was nowhere near Alvarado Gardens, I will tell you that. It was remaining over that Walmart directly over my head, and that's also where the entity was stalking in a helicopter all day long, flying in circles above me, and I published that. I documented that. That remains on the record. This is a different Walmart, which is showing the same thing. Starbucks is monitoring, group stalking you. The entity is engaging what is state surveillance, and at this Walmart, the entity is flying over my head in airplanes, and I've also been at this Walmart where the entity is flying over my head in helicopter. This is where I'm at on June 5th, 2022. At no point in the day, you've seen the light source here, at no point in the day is the light source going to be anywhere over Upland. It remains over me as I travel back to Alvarado Gardens, which you already know that whole property is going to federal prison. And all of Speaker companies, the company, they're going to federal prison, okay? And then while they seek to obstruct justice by harassing me and making audible activity as though you could ever make an attorney that's criminalizing your psychotic behavioral pattern in a way that needs to be recognized by the federal government, you're going to lose in that feat. But I'm going to prosecute you for that because it's within the state's pattern of conduct to obstruct justice. And there's federal policies for that, and they're going to be prosecuted for that. This is the light source that's never going to be over the Walmart in Upland, California on the same day at the same time at 11. You're going to see exactly what you've been seeing. The entity, let me point something else out with regard to the malice. Because I went somewhere else today, because I didn't stay at Alvarado Gardens, because this demonic entity is monitoring documentation, so you have the light source covered up. Nobody has forgotten, for example, what was documented on March 19th, 2024. Nobody has forgotten, which is here. Where you're looking at the light source that's right over my head at the apartment complex. This is the significance of documentation, because no one's forgotten that. The entity that's short-sighted, that's stalking you moment by moment wherever you go, is and also showing what is obsession, because they're aware of that record, but at the same time they still must, and that's speaking to what is terrorism. A demon-possessed and corrupt entity that's now exposed still continues to its own demise. That's speaking to what is an inability to stop yourself from what's harming you. Now, you know you're going to federal prison because I told you that's exactly what's happening. You're going to federal prison, and you are no normal person would continue doing that. No normal person would provide evidence against itself that you're engaging in terrorism of unheard methods. In helicopters and in airplanes, you're using whole commercial airline planes to engage in group stalking. No normal person would do that. That's revealing what is the public safety concern, okay? At no point is ever the sun going to be remaining over one property, which is what Alvarado Gardens is documented engaging in. Alvarado Gardens represents the people of the state engaging in the same exact criminal system, and this is demonic. I'm giving you the evidence showing you what you cannot see in the spirit. These are demons that are pacing all around. Demons in the spirit, they're cockroaches, and they're all creepy crawling all around in the engineered light. This is the light you see on my ceilings, appearing and disappearing, flashing all over. And these are demons that are psychotic, wanting to desperately appear as though they're focused on something else, they're doing something else. You are mindful of the light source. You are mindful of the engineered light showing the demented mind state while these demons are stalking in plain view. All right, so you're looking at the ongoing context revealing what is a public safety concern, not just as I prosecute and expose it, but as these are ticking time bombs that are walking free right now. Walking free, engaging in terrorism. License 17012V3, a commercial business engaging in terrorism. I'm gonna prosecute them. That's Southland Recycling. I'm gonna prosecute them. This is light activity and crossing path conduct facilitation also. This is light activity on the vehicle. Under the light source, that is nowhere near Alvarado Gardens. There's no shared sky space, and never is sunlight ricocheting off of buildings. That's a group stalker, and doing so, commercial stalking. You can exchange the name with UPS, the same exact criminal pattern of conduct. Exchange it with any logo name, and that's what they're doing, maintaining presence. That commercial vehicle, group stalking, same thing. All right, I'm at the intersection of Rosedale and GLENOAKS, where outside of the window of the laundry room, you cannot see a sun over this intersection while I'm looking out of the window of the laundry room that's facing the hillside, where the sun is rising in the east, and it's setting then through my bedroom window on the west side of my same apartment. In other words, on the west side of my person, showing that 61184M3, Mary 3, is a group stalker. All right, P.O.C, this demon just drives in a circle. He's pacing. Southland Recycling is going to pay me. I'm going to drain those pockets. All right, and that's a demon engaging in terrorism, criminal facilitation. That's grounds of federal prison. All right, the ongoing impunity, that's legally relevant. P.O.C. 8ZQL143. Just want to capture this. This is 9:06 a.m. and the entity is maintaining a light source over me for the duration of the day, as I documented in Upland, California, and the light source is going to remain over me in Los Angeles. That's speaking to what the entire state of California is doing, as I'm in 2 different regions, and I have a thorough body of evidence showing what is stalking in an environment, an unheard of method of stalking, where the malice whereby a demon-possessed entity is keeping you under surveillance, not only in a relevant position to you, that is stalking in the path, group stalking, and they do so in an engineered environment, which is the purpose of revealing the unnatural environment, the specific environment. The specific environment follows you. That's what I'm showing you when I remain at Alvarado Gardens. The specific environment remains right there at Alvarado Gardens. You go outside of the gates of Alvarado Gardens, there you go. This is the P.O.C. It is currently, again, where I'm at, the State Facilitating Venue of DMV. This is terrorism, and let me be clear. I documented at 9:05 at the DMV in Rancho Cucamonga. This is the prosecution of the state. The state is indeed engaged in terrorism. That's why you have it occurring at state facilitating venues. And I'm literally at the DMV in Rancho Cucamonga at the same time. I'm documenting the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department group stalking, replete with what is helicopter at 9:35 in the morning. This is April of 2022. This demon's 17533P3, that's federal prison. Engineer light moves across the wall while they're listening to my audible activity that they're monitoring me to. And these demons are hostile. Okay, a psychopath that wants to threaten your life because of their criminal conduct that they're mad that you're exposing, they belong in a cage. 9 DVD 645. This is P.O.C.